Welcome to another weekly edition of Straight Shooters podcast, which is now a video cast too. You're welcome. You get to see my face as well as my lovely voice. We've got a ton of breaking gossip we're going to jump into. Let me explain what this is. I'm Rob Shooter. I'm a gossip columnist. I've done this a very long time. I love celebrity news. I love celebrities. I like gossiping about them too. I have sources all over the place, so we have the best dish here. It's not sloppy seconds you're going to hear anywhere else on any other podcast. This is brand new breaking celebrity news. You're welcome. First story of the day, the real reason that Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod are not yet married. The real reason. Pals are shocked that Jennifer Lopez and A-Rod have still not locked down a wedding date. However, friends that are super close are not that surprised at all, knowing very well what is causing the delay. Sources tell me, straight shooter, Jennifer is looking for some sort of deal. There is no way she's paying for this wedding, and even less chance of her wasting the biggest press day of her life without harnessing some business out of it. Sources add, quote, Jen is a genius marketing person. She packages all her projects together to get the best results. Her music and her movies and even her fragrances, everything she endorses is part of the JLO bigger brand. Her personal life is no exception. She isn't looking for a reality show deal or a wedding special, but conversations are definitely being had about how they take this circus around the wedding and promote whatever Jen is planning next. With Jennifer, it's always about the bigger deal, and the wedding is no exception. Let me break down exactly what's happening here. I used to work for Jennifer a long time ago, but I must admit, she's a genius. This is somebody who knows how to use her fame, her celebrity to help the brand. Jennifer's not just an actress or a singer or somebody that sells fragrances or someone that does fantastic live shows in Vegas and all around the world. She puts them all together. It's almost like a jigsaw puzzle. Several people I spoke to who know her terribly well said this wedding is going to be like the royal wedding. This is going to be such a big deal here in America, around the world, that Jennifer is going to use this to her advantage. Also, too, let's face it, these things can get very expensive. Jennifer's frugal. Everybody that knows Jennifer knows that the lady is a genius when it comes to business. And if there is an opportunity to have a sponsor or somebody else pick up the bill, that is something that they certainly are interested in. This is no shade here. I think it's absolutely brilliant that she's this smart. So the wedding is yet not being given a date. There's no date yet for the wedding because there's too many pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to put together. Will Jennifer be promoting a movie? Will she be promoting an album? What will she be promoting when this wedding happens? It's not just going to happen by itself. She's going to be on the cover of every magazine, Us Weekly and Star and all those great weekly magazines. She'll be on the cover with that wedding dress. Who will provide the wedding dress? My insiders are telling me it looks like some sort of big deal with Versace. If you remember, the green Versace dress over 2 decades ago changed Jennifer's life. Then recently, she put that dress back on. She has a real close connection with Versace, with the brand. Donatella is not only a friend, but a business partner. So I guess the dress will probably be Versace. My insiders are even saying Jennifer is so shrewd, she's so clever, that you can even expect maybe a fragrance, a wedding fragrance to be released. Jennifer has a lot of fragrances. She makes a lot of money from them. They're beautiful. Would you wear JLO's wedding fragrance? If you're a bride, if you're not a bride, do you want to smell like Jennifer on her wedding day? Who doesn't? I bet you that will be part of the deal too. What do you think? Is this too commercial or is this just smart? The Kardashians do it. A lot of celebrities do it. Probably nobody does it to the degree or the expertise of Jennifer Lopez, but I think this is pretty genius. What do you think? You know how to reach me. You can tweet me at Naughty Nice Rob, or you can email me naughtynicerob@aol.com. Heather Locklear's big comeback. That's right. She is working to come back to television. Heather Locklear and her team are busy reading scripts, looking for the perfect project to give the troubled star a big comeback. Sources tell me, quote, Heather has been through hell and back, but now she's clean and sober and ready to work again. She loves work, and it actually keeps her centered. She's busy reading scripts and looking for another big TV project that will put her back on top. Sources add, Heather has been part of America's TV family for generations. She knows that people love a comeback story, and that's exactly what she wants to give them. However, it's proving more difficult than you might think. She doesn't want to do a reality show or play someone's mother in a scripted show. Plus, all the best parts are going to Jennifer Aniston. But don't worry, Heather knows when she finds the right part, she's ready to do it. Let me explain what's going on here. Heather's had a really troubled couple of years, in and out of trouble with the police, and also too at rehab. Now my sources tell me she's really sober and focusing really, really hard on coming back. It's interesting. She's worked for so long since she was very, very young. She's actually at her most comfortable, my insiders tell me, when she's on a TV set. They're looking for a big new project now because of the way TV has changed. Netflix, Apple TV, all those streaming services. Maybe there's more options than just the traditional television shows that existed not solely so long ago. They're reading scripts right now. What do you think? Would you love to see Heather back? We love her. Dynasty, TJ Hooker, all those great soap operas that she made. She's not looking at movie scripts. She's a TV star. She loves TV. She likes the pattern of working on television. This is what she's looking at. She's reading scripts. Would you take a chance on Heather? Would you give her a risk? Could she have a relapse? Maybe. My insiders tell me that's very, very unlikely. They really are looking at projects for her. She also knows, too, she's no longer going to play the sexy girl next door. That's no longer the role that she can play at her age. She can play the sexy woman next door. She's still beautiful. She's obviously still very talented. What do you think about this big comeback? Will you give Heather one more chance? Me, I say absolutely. Let me know what you think. Former Bachelor blames Gigi Hadid for losing the job. That's right. He's not the Bachelor, and he blames his ex. Former Bachelor runner-up Tyler Cameron lost out on being picked. Tyler's left without the girl and also without a job. So let me break this down. Tyler really was the first choice. ABC, The Bachelor, they loved him. He's handsome, he's smart. He was the runner-up. He came in second on the show. America fell in love with this handsome hunk, and then they really wanted him to become the next Bachelor. The problem is, between The Bachelorette ending and The Bachelor starting, he got a girlfriend. Now, this is a show about love, finding love, romance. It has to at least feel real. Had he had a girlfriend that we didn't know about, maybe they could clear that up. But he started to date a really famous model, Gigi Hadid. You've heard of her. And so once they started appearing in the magazines, on television together as a couple, they also dated, unfortunately, here in New York City, probably the media capital of the world. So there's many, many pictures of them together. It was impossible. ABC, The Bachelor, couldn't hire a guy to be the Bachelor who had a girlfriend. They just couldn't do that. They were not going to risk the credibility of the franchise on somebody that was already dating. So my insiders tell me Tyler knew this and he took a gamble. Instead of being the Bachelor, he went with the girlfriend. He picked love here. Was it a mistake? Now he has broken up with Gigi. He doesn't have the Bachelor job. That went to Peter, the pilot, a nice guy too, but maybe not as exciting as Tyler. What do you think? Would you do this in your life? Would you pick love over a job? Is it possible to have both? Yes, but not the job of the Bachelor. You've got to be single for that. So what would you pick if you had the choice? Would you pick a guaranteed 12 episode, at least 12 episodes, an hour every single week? In prime time, millions of people watching you. You get very, very famous. You earn a good salary, but not a huge amount of money. But you do become really, really famous. Would you pick that? Or would you pick dating a supermodel that makes you famous too? Definitely gets you in the magazines, gets you press, but there's no guarantee of 12 weeks at all. Maybe there's a guarantee of 12 years, of a lifetime of happiness. It didn't work out. It didn't work out in this case. What would have you picked? Would you have picked the job or the girlfriend? You can't have both. in this instant. Which one would you pick? Do you think he made a mistake? And would you be livid, if you pick the girlfriend and then you break up just as The Bachelor starts to shoot? Let me know. You know how to reach me. You can get me on Twitter at NaughtyNiceRob or email me naughtynicerob@aol.com. That really is my email address. You are welcome. The Real Housewives of Italy. Could it happen? Will it happen? It might just. Hey, so sources are telling me, straight shooter, that deported Joe Giudice is now back in Italy, and hopefully Bravo's reality cameras are there with him too. Sources add the following, quote, Joe has been part of the Bravo family since day one of the New Jersey show. We've watched his family grow up on TV, and we've never had the opportunity to say goodbye to him. For the audience's sake, the show wants closure, and filming him arriving in Italy is something that will produce huge ratings for the TV show. Sources add, quote, there are currently no plans for a spin-off series about Joe moving to a different country. However, never say never with Bravo. If they think it could be a ratings monster, then the Real Housewife franchise might even shoot from the moon. So they add, it is funny that everybody gets caught up on loyalty and emotions, when in TV, the only thing that really matters is cold, hard numbers. Ratings and advertiser dollars are really what decides if a show happens or not. The Real Housewives of New Jersey have finished filming, so the season we're going to watch next is already in the can. It's edited, it's done, and it all happened before Joe got deported to Italy. Might they add that in at the end of the show? Maybe. But Joe is now in Italy, and I'm told there are camera crews already with Joe. They're not Bravo camera crews, but they could be freelancing crews that provide footage to the Bravo series. There is no way, after 10 years at least of this show, after a decade of seeing this family grow up, there's no way they're going to let a lead character just disappear. It's just impossible to happen. So what do you think about actually doing a reality show, a Real Housewives from a different country? They did this with London. They called it The Ladies of London. It was not under the housewife umbrella, but it still was basically a housewife show from a different country. Would you watch The Real Housewives of Italy? Obviously, it has to be in English. I'm not sure the Bravo audience would watch a subtitled show, but would you find some Americans in Italy? Joe could be the centerpiece of this. And would you think this is a good idea? My sources tell me there is no way Teresa's leaving Jersey to go and move to Italy. Joe is still trying to get back into America, although that looks very unlikely, particularly under the current administration. The daughters and Teresa will stay here. They are planning to go visit, so in a couple of weeks they will go and visit. I bet you, I know that Bravo will probably be with them. And if Bravo film the reunion, they've not seen him in a long time. He was in jail for a long time. If Bravo film the reunion in Italy, that means they'll probably pay for the flights and the accommodation. So Teresa will get a free trip to Italy with her kids to see her husband. Bravo will be there. I think we want closure, whether or not you like the Housewives of New Jersey or whether or not you like Teresa. Remember, Teresa and Joe now have both been in jail, so that might cloud certain people's opinions of them. But if you still like them or you don't, I think I'm accurate in saying we want some closure. We want a goodbye. Maybe this will be the period at the end of the sentence of the Giudices. What do you think? Let me know. Sam Smith has new music coming out, but it will have a twist to it. I'm a straight shooter. Let me explain. Sam Smith is working on some new music, but don't expect any traditional love songs from the Brits with the golden voice, because the new album will not include the pronouns him or her. Sources tell me Sam now identifies as non-binary and has changed the preferenced pronouns to they and them. The same is true with his new music. Sources add that Sam feels liberated to no longer sing love songs about a guy or a girl. Now his music will literally be universal. Sam has found the truth, and by publicly coming out, he hopes he will destigmatize the discussion around identity. Music is about change, and Sam is excited about the future and having a massive impact on what we consider a love song to be about. This is a huge story in the world of pop music and culture. So now Sam does not want to be identified as a he or a she, and his music will reflect that too. So gone are the days of Whitney Houston and Celine Dion singing those big epic love songs that we love to sing in the shower. Now there's going to be a new day and age in music where it literally will be universal, and you can now sing a love song to a boy, to a girl, to whoever you want without using those words. Do you think this will stick? Do you think other artists will do this too? Music wants to be inclusive. I think music thinks of itself as revolutionary, cutting edge. Certainly in the past, music has pushed boundaries, has changed the world in many, many ways. Is this another frontier that we're about to cross? Sam Smith is doing it. Will Adele follow next? Does it matter if you're gay or straight or you identify in a certain way or another? Is this the future now? Should we get rid of the terms he or she in popular music, in culture? Sam's trying to start the movement. It obviously is not going to happen overnight. Is this a good thing, a bad thing, or do you love singing love songs to your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend? What do you think about this one? Will you be able to drop the he and the she out of love songs, or not for you? Let me know. The Kardashian ratings are falling apart. I'm Rob Shooter, breaking down this big story. The Kardashian 17th season debuted to just over 1 million viewers. But now, just weeks after being on air, the show has dropped almost 20% in just a few weeks, leaving TV executives to worry about how far they will continue to fall. Sources tell me, quote, "The glory days of the show are totally over. Now just 862,000 people watched the show a few weeks ago. There is fear within E that these numbers could drop even further. Sources tell me the alarm bells are ringing. It's like the entire family has given up on the show. Kim and her sisters are no longer that passionate about filming it, and you can tell. What doesn't make sense is why they are continuing to do it. If you don't want to do the show anymore, sources add, just stop. The secret is knowing when to walk away, and that moment might be now. Let me remind you, there was a time when millions, 3 million people tuned in for episodes of The Kardashians, particularly those wedding episodes, now down to 800,000. That's a massive drop. Now, if that drop came with a drop in costs, the network wouldn't care. But the show is actually more expensive than ever because everybody has been getting a raise on that show. So now, as we speak, the Kardashians are trying to renegotiate their deal with E. They're coming with a very weak perspective. Now they're not bringing in the viewers. It's costing a lot of money. Will they take a pay cut? My sources say very, very unlikely. Once you get used to earning all this money, you're probably not going to turn it away. Now, the Kardashians actually earn more money from makeup, clothing, all the projects they do than the TV show. Kris Jenner, though, is no fool. She knows the TV show is the anchor of all the projects, of all the success. If the TV show goes away, will the Kardashians go away too? Probably not. They now have tens of millions of followers on social media, so they can exist without that show. But Kris doesn't think the brand will be so strong. I think she's right. Do you know when to leave a party? Do you know when it's over? Now's the time. It's a little late. People are no longer as interested in you. Can they do this? My insiders do tell me the whole family is overshooting it. It's more work than it looks, and so boo-hoo, don't feel bad for them. But now they're all over it. They have their children, they have their lives. The TV show now is another job that they don't necessarily want. Do you think they should quit and end now while they're still not on top, but they're not on bottom? Or would you ride this horse to the very end? How low could it go? If it drops much lower, I don't think they can continue. How can they get the ratings up? Another wedding? Haven't they tried all these tricks? I think with the Kardashians now, 17 seasons, 17. I think all the tricks have been done. Babies, divorces, robbery, everything's been done. Even Bruce becoming Caitlyn. I mean, that's a pretty amazing storyline. Is that what the problem is? The stakes now are so high. We're used to so much drama with this family that now, unless something crazy happens, it looks like a dull season. What do you think? Can they fix it? What would make you interested in this show? Again, you know how to reach me on Twitter at NaughtyNiceRob or email me naughtynicerob@aol.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're here every week with a brand new episode of Straight Shooter. Once again, I'm Rob Shooter reminding you, if you're going to be naughty, you got to be nice. Take care.